Okay, now we're going to talk about the organization of the periodic table and the different information we can get from it. So, number one, each element has a box, and it has atomic number, atomic mass, and atomic symbol in there. And if you don't know the atomic number is the number of protons, feel free to go ahead and label that on your periodic table. This is your elemental symbol. One mistake most students make is that they want to capitalize the second letter. It is not capitalized, so don't do it. Okay? Only the first letter is capitalized. The reason we have the second letter there is some elements have the same letter as another element, so we have to distinguish the two elements. And so we choose a letter that is most predominant when you're saying the word. So in helium, the E is the next letter that comes out in the word and the articulation of it. So that's written as He, because we already have an H, which is hydrogen. Atomic mass is the number of protons and neutrons. If you don't know that, you have trouble remembering that, feel free to go ahead and put that down here too. Okay, now, boxes are arranged in periods, which are horizontal, and groups are vertical. These are two words that usually get confused by others. So you have periods and groups. Periods are horizontal. They go across this way. And groups are vertical. Doom, doom, doom. Okay, there are 8 main groups. That's why we folded our periodic table a while ago. And that helps us understand which of the 8. We'll find out about their electrons and their charges and stuff. And then transition, intertransition, fit in between your 8 main groups between groups 2 and group 3. Okay, classifying elements. We've already done this. We already talked about the fact that over here we have metals, and then we have our non-metals over here, and we have this area right here in between, which are metalloids. Okay? You are expected to know your metalloids. Some of my students put a little dot on them so they can remember where the metalloids are. I'm fine with that. The periodic table is a tool. Use it. Okay. The 8 main groups, you've already colored it up. It looks somewhat similar to this, a little bit different because of our periodic table on the wall. But do make sure your periodic table is colored and ready to go. This is just another arrangement of the periodic table where we use one arrangement of the periodic table. There's various arrangements. This is just another way of looking at it. So don't stress about that. Okay, this one is important. I want you to take time and I want you to draw these on there. Some of this doesn't make sense right now, but we're getting there, okay? So, atomic radius increases as I go down because I'm getting larger as I go down, and the atomic radius this way increases. Okay? Ionization energy increases this way and increases as you go up. Ionization energy and electron affinity go hand in hand because it's about capturing electrons and making compounds. That's what we're talking about there. We'll talk about that in a few weeks. Non-metal characteristics increase this way. Metallic characteristics increase this way. So these arrows need to be on your periodic table. You're expected to understand the trends. We're going to use them a whole lot, so mark it up. Okay, the diagonal. I don't know if you ever saw the movie Evolution with David Duchovny in there, but in order to save the world, he has to look at the periodic table, and he has to think about the fact that they're converting their atmosphere over from our atmosphere to their atmosphere, and he figures out that the poison for them is selenium because of the diagonal on the periodic table. There's a diagonal that occurs on the periodic table where you get trends that occur between 2 elements because they're on a diagonal. And so in the movie Evolution, he saves the world by going to get a whole bunch of heads and shoulders and putting in the fire truck and pumping selenium up into the space alien, and he kills it, saves the world, because selenium is found in heads and shoulders. Selenium is also an important mineral for us for keeping our body functioning right. But there's a trend. We see like characteristics on a diagonal as well, which is why they were slightly confused with some of the arrangements that they did. Okay, hydrogen. Before I do the rest of the groups, hydrogen is an odd duck. Completely odd. Like, everything's odd about it. Okay? So, hydrogen, we are looking at renewable energies with it. Okay? There's a little bit of a problem with it. We don't have it like Iceland has it very readily accessible. Hydrogen is a diatomic. We'll talk about diatomics mean. Basically, they can't be by themselves. Hydrogen is black on the periodic table because it doesn't quite fit in with group 1. It does have one valence electron. It does have a +1 charge, but we're going to see it doesn't quite fit in where it's supposed to fit in at. It's really an odd duck. So hydrogen is its own group. Okay, that ends this video. I'll see you in the next one.